anytime because it is quite an emergency. Thank you so much.
To replay your message, press 1. To continue recording, press 2. To delete and re-record your message, press 3. For delivery options, press 4. To mark urgent, press 1. To message marked urgent. To replay your message, press 1. To continue recording, press 2. To delete and re-record your message, press 3. For delivery options, press 4.
Add to contacts. I think it's not the right number. Send message. Oh my god. Because your phone is what is the date? I can't believe I fucking found this one. Tuesday, June 16. I gotta check. Oh, it's setting on his phone. It keeps shutting me off. Oh wait. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. I think it's my Gemini that hurts. This is so annoying. I think it's my Gemini. Damn it. Come on. His phone keeps shutting down. It's so fucking annoying. I'm like losing it. Come on. Come on. Okay, number. This one. So annoying. Come on. Oh my god, assessment. I have 3 different. Now I need the freaking shower bathrooms in my Come on. Seven 1 4 3 8 1 3 7 7 6. So I left a message in text. Again. Now let's see what's next. Just the internet connection. This fucking phone not working. This really is just. Oh my god. My glasses are scratched and broken. Okay. Come on. He said screaming. Okay, Carly, first of all, hold on to your truth. You're not going to do another year like this. The fact that Sean Catherine, blah, 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 blah. 1, priority 1, IHP main office. Okay. Do that now. IHP. Okay. 1, 8, 60, 2, 6, 4. The Sean Catherine isn't answering her personal cell. She might be out of field. Okay. The script. Okay. The script. My mind tends to saying the script. My name is Kimberly Sylvia. I'm an IEHP member. I'm an medical. I'm an IEHP member. I'm in active medical heat basis. I've diagnosed Graves' disease. DISMA. These glasses are so stupid. Yep. Medical Graves' disease. And diagnosed Graves' disease. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's making me dizzy. What the fuck? Another one doesn't work? What's wrong with these pins? Oh. Unless I got the same one. I had to because it's. Oh my god, come on. Stupid one. I had a really good pen. Oh my god, close these shut off so quickly. It's annoying. I hate that. These damn government takes so long to warm up. This is so. Something's really trying to treat me. Okay, that is Graves' disease. What else? Graves' disease. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia. Got it. Still not even up yet. Come on. Oh my god. It still hasn't opened it. No. She is high. Jessica commented. Oh god, come on. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. I have to go to settings. Because if it turns a little bit, it fucks up my screen. Hold on, I used to do that. I don't know how to do this screen. Open the whole system. God, this is so fucking annoying, people. Display.
Reconnect with your mobile unit for housing stabilization.
Shut up! Hello?
Kimberly, is it you? It's Joe Catherine.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
It took
Oh
a
my
while.
God.
It took a while to get your number.
Yeah, and the other number, your other number I had called before, but it didn't say it was disconnected. It just wouldn't connect.
Oh my,
So,
yeah, I just got it turned on and.
One that you left a message on a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Different than this one. That's okay. It happens when you go through these phones to try to get them stabilized. But it was like I was worried about you. So what's going on?
Oh well, I'm back in Apple Valley. I went to my daughter's house because it just wasn't. I just couldn't take. I was going crazy over there. I'm living in the car, so my daughter's house. Thought it was going to work out, but no, they still have issues with the dogs. So I had to leave there, and Arthur set me up like at an acquaintance house, but it's in Apple Valley. I don't have a car now, and well, the phone I had no phone because the stupid phone broke. But it's an unstable. It's a hoarding environment. I'm in a tent, and I have two dogs now. I don't have my main dog anymore, my male, but I have the two babies, and one of them's pregnant. She's heavily pregnant.
Oh no.
And it's beyond. But and she's heavily pregnant, and in the tent and in this environment, it's not good for her, and it's with the Graves' disease, I'm stuck out here, and it's unstable and all, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good, and we're still in the same situation. There's no shelter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can try, but most shelters up here are already full, and none of them have. Occasionally, I think one of them has let small dogs in, but yeah. So that's part of it. I know that there are a few down the hill, and Orange County and LA. There's a couple in LA with that they require different terms. So I was just looking into this. We have a lot of areas.
Yeah.
So in some of them, they'll give you up to 6 months. Actually 6 to 9 months free rent in a shared living situation.
Uh-huh.
And because people are participating in their services on site.
Uh-huh.
And then you either stay in this place or you mark there. Now, I do know of a place that I have been looking into, but you need that kind of income. Where are you in that area?
What kind of income? I have no
Yeah, I know. I kind of knew that, but I wanted to double check to see if there's change. I know you're capable of earning it sometimes. That's great.
Yeah, I have great views too in this heat. Right now it got windy, so it's beautiful. But it's been intolerable because the heat. It's beyond.
Yeah, great cause problems there. Let us yeah, now you have a pregnant dog with puppies, and they're yeah. And I want to just say I'm really sorry about your big boy. They make that noise, and they get really crazy when they're around kids. They lose their life. Cats are like that. I got a guy down the street who has a husky, and he locks the husky up in get outside in the kennel. In a kennel he has, where another one of the bitches go into. He's not good at doing this spade and all. Keeps the puppy level down. He doesn't have puppies, but the male husky we have is mine.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, the police came. So the police.
Yeah, it sounds really bad.
It was. Oh my. It was insane, and just the whole thing was horrible because it was. That was life threatening. Oh my god, just trying to keep her and being stuck in the car, and the car kept dying the battery, and the windows were down. So I'm having to spend overnight, and it's freezing cold. I couldn't take my foot, couldn't take my body off of him. It was horrible.
Yeah,
It's been just
everything you could. Is he the father of both pups?
yeah. That's how I found out they wouldn't have that. I never knew she was in heat until we were up in Apple Valley and I was up in the mountains with the dogs, and I just heard her yelping, and I ran down that coyote, and they were stuck. Never got stuck again, so I thought, okay, maybe nothing happened, but yeah, no, it did. And right after that, then the other one went in heat, and that's when I took it to the city, and then it's been bad.
Yeah, no, it is bad. And I can work with getting, stated or vouchers, but that isn't always a free thing. You have to put some kind of cash for that. And there might be some residents who are willing to, fund to assist with stay neuter, but
they do that too.
Have one pregnancy, so.
They do the neutering when they're pregnant, and that's how they do the abortions. And they said that they can do it late into the pregnancy.
They can do that. They can definitely do that. It costs lots more, though. I've done that.
And there's no.
I didn't know the dog or the cat at the time was pregnant. If they told me before the surgery, I was like, oh God.
It's horrible, but it's just another. I cannot. It's it's a nightmare, but she's my baby, and it's like she's still a puppy. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, she's too young. It might be a really difficult pregnancy actually to deliver because she's so young.
And the litter before there was 10 in the litter. What if it happened again? It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it is. It's terrifying because you have a high number of pups. But at the same time, it is her first, and the first usually are not that.
I hope not, because she's getting big, and it's just I'm stuck in a place where no phone, no fucking car, no nothing, so it's just grim.
Oh my gosh. I'm talking to rescues right now about another dog that I rescued. So reach out to the husky rescue and see if they have anything to help out with the situation. It's not pretty, and it is worrisome, and I understand your stress about that. I think one of the big things is trying to get you my shelter list for you, right? My human shelter list.
Mm-hmm.
But I can look into other locations outside of this area. We've been down in Orange County, but we've been in other places to be flexible.
For sure.
It won't be scary to leave it better than it's but at the same time, I know you can do this for a little while, so it's about finding the right place to wherever it's fine. I want to make sure they have full on services. What you need is help to get a community going. I don't think it's qualified, right? Nobody ever qualifies for first time anyway. But I don't think you'll be able to even apply and get any hope of qualifying past the first stage without, because you have to apply with documentation. So having gone for, you're doing great, this is the thing, you have to show that you're trying to treat it and got the diagnosis for this, but also the diagnosis for anything else that might be complicated. So that's a whole bunch of things that go into the medical side. It's really hard for you to do that. Yes, you can get called upon to get you on these places, which you set appointments. But at the end of the day, in order to get anywhere, and some of the housing intervention that you keep it on here will require some minimal kind of income and support services that you agree to. Now, I'm going to check with one place. I'm going to be in Barstow in a couple of weeks. I drive right by that place, but I don't think they have any opens. I do know, though, that they don't, it isn't zero rent. It's sliding scale. And sometimes it can be zero rent if you're affiliated with the organization.
I'll do anything. I'm down for anything. And
I'm trying to figure out, because I know you can do some basic work. I mean, you've been an in-home support person before, so you can do that kind of work. And that's actually well paid and good if you have transportation, but you don't have a vehicle. And I did find a free vehicles organizations that they are all out. You get to call them and get on their list for the future. But right now they're not really, doing much with that, and they may even have cut off their list by now. I do not know for sure. I just found out about them, and a lot of places have run out of money. There are funds out there to get you housed, but you have to have an income of some kind to pay those things. On the other hand, you can get on some lists, which do not require you to time, like Section 8, for example, or get into on the HUD housing list or low-income you can get on those lists.
without children?
Yeah, without children. Yeah, for individuals. And then when you are on the list of the call, which is well down the line, it would be something where they would then, say, hey, it's available, and they're like, what's your income? So we can set up everything, we'll have to provide. So that's kind of part of the thing around that.
And how much
get on a list, the least you can do.
Oh, for sure. And how much of an income, like, does the other shelter that you were thinking about for, like, what was the income?
Okay, so some of the places, and I don't know how they do it, but I do know people who live on, like $600, and they have to pay like $100. So, so it's a sliding scale based upon your income.
I could come up with that, and I can make it, I can have some, do something for someone like that, where they can
There's other options too. If you have Medi-Cal, you do not need Medicare for this. But you and I are about the same age. I'm like 1 year older than you, girlfriend. As long as you're over 50, you're the young thing.
You're 69?
I'm not 69.
No, the year. You're born in 69.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Well, then I'd be 68.
Yeah, so no. I know you're born in 70.
Oh, fuck you. No, my brother's 1969, and that was always a,
Yeah.
funky year, funky girl. Take back to business.
But anybody over 65, yes, people work right off the top. They're all over the top, but I know, they may work because I know there's program all around. Okay? That means leaving IEH. Stay in touch with me. The services overlap, so it would also mean moving my program as well. They provide everything. They also provide housing.
What about legal services?
Yes, because for anybody over 55, sign up for is basically an insurance program that gets the assisted living waiver for over 55. And it takes a little while, but they do it for you. Okay? It's called Caseworker, the program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. I know I avoid that because I'm not elderly, but if you're over 55, you qualify. They put you in an assisted living facility or a boarding camp. It's not like you're in a lockdown. You're not living in a hospital. There's tier levels like what we have, where some people need more assistance for their medical needs than others do. But the housing is all paid for through Medi-Cal living program. It's like the housing navigation that IEHP does, only it doesn't really end, and you don't have to do a whole lot to manage it because the PACE program manages it. They get it all set up. They push you in housing. Like I said, board and care, some of them are really nice. Some of them are scary. And by scary, I just mean there's a lot of people with mental health disorders. And I'm not saying crazy people like wandering around looking at you funny. But, you always have to, 90% of the time you share with them. But board and care are small family homes. So there's like maybe 8 to 10. And then there are larger facilities, assisted living facilities. Some of them up. Some of them, like there's this one down in, where is it? It's just off the 10, and it's something Royale. It's an older building, so it's a little funky in some ways, and it's got a lot of different there are a lot of couples who live in, but the rooms are big. Most of the rooms are big. So if you got to share a room with someone, I'd like to share a room that big.
But what about the dogs?
Yeah, so as opposed to say one that's more of a small family home or other kinds of assisted living, where the sizes are like, 15 by 10, or you have an 8 by 12, where you're allowed to have 2 people in those rooms. It used to be as much as 20 by 20. So they're really big.
I have depth perception, so I have no idea. None of that makes any sense.
Well, what makes sense to me is that you don't have to have a sleep that close to another human being. If you don't sleep next to another woman, that without you share bathrooms. And so it's nice to have enough space. They're required to give you a bed, a dresser, and that closet kind of space. If they don't have a closet, they have to run it. So it would be a standard closet. Everything else you bring to do your own thing. Unfortunately, none of the ALFs can take pets. Board and care sometimes bend the rules a little bit for pets. I know because I've been there. Usually they're smaller animals, you have 2, but some of them are more flexible than others. So these are things to think about as you progress through this process and you figure out what to do with the situation around. But it's better than a shelter because at the end of the day, a shelter won't generally take pets. And there are other ones that, and when you do go either way, it kind of depends on where you want to go. But you can get a job while you pay for the stuff. It's not like you're on disability. You can start getting a job. They provide transportation at a centralized location. They provide you with all your meals. They provide transportation, like I said, to a centralized location where you get all your medical care, your dental care. They send you out to specialists. So a lot of that can help you with getting disability if you qualify for it or if you get the process started. But you can also maybe make enough connections there to be working there with your IHSS background, at least part-time, and then you can move out. Or you can, get a bus pass. They can make requests for that through their program, and they can fund a bus pass that lets you go to get started to do things. So I'm thinking about that as kind of like an end-stage option if you can't get something figured out, because at the very least you'll have housing and support for your medical, and you'll get a chance to trust and figure out where to go and what to do, and how you're going to do that. But right now, the big thing is to try to figure out, I'm thinking some kind of transportation. And were you ever able to find out where any of your vehicles are?
Yeah. And my car there, she's she's cool about it, and she's like, so that's good. I was gonna actually have it moved. One of the guys that lives here, he's a mechanic or whatever, that he could help me get it out. So
Okay.
hopefully that's true. And then the lady who, the RV, she's like, we'll just go take it. So I'm like, oh, cool. And then I guess she has a boyfriend that does diesel. I don't know. They're kind of out there, but I'm like, I can't do it myself. But it's how people talk. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on how that works and how comfortable you are. If you have the RV in its possession, then it's about trying to find funds to get it properly situated. But you can do a lot in the desert with an RV out here. People do all the time, and it's a start. The other thing is, if you can get a car, and then you have somebody to help you get it driving again, then the next thing, and I can look at the resources for that on some of it, because there might be some people out there. I mean, this guy might be willing to work on it, but obviously it might be hard, other things, and then
For sure.
Right. So but if you get up and running, and you might be able to get back into IHSS, how they live, or into another, there are other healthcare companies who send out people to do, service for others who are elderly or disabled and require assistance. I'm working with people who are struggling. One person just lost her car in an accident. She's really struggling. Her job is working with her about that. So there's options for if you have some kind of transportation. You get any kind of a small job, you qualify for an awful lot of housing assistance.
Oh,
Through
sweet.
different organizations. Now, if I can get this, I know I have to double check to see if you signed up for it. I don't know if you signed up for housing navigation, but I can double check and let you know.
No, I didn't sign up for anything.
Okay. So I'll double check and see. They might have signed you up for it. And I could ask housing navigation to sign you up with a company called Lighthouse. Now, Lighthouse is really, really restricted in some ways, but in other ways, they provide a really broad spectrum of services. So they'll help you with the job. They'll help you with a car or car, assistance or registration. They help you with the housing. They come under the housing navigation contract. But they help with a whole lot of things. So they might be a really good resource. And, I work with somebody who got her employment stabilized 2 years out. She was recovering from addiction, and she was for a long time. But she got clean and sober. She's basically homeless in a shelter. The shelter connected her to Lighthouse, through housing navigation. Lighthouse, did all this work with her to make sure she had transportation for, like bus passes, so she could get to and from her employment. Because there are other organizations that do that too, that will let you bus passes to go to your interviews and things like trainings and things like that. Which she started, and then she used the bus pass for a little while, so she saved enough money to get her car taken care of. So she got a car taken care of because she had a car. And then they put her in housing, and she was able to increase her hours of work. She had housing and transportation, housing for work. So you see what I'm saying? It's like it's a process, but she got into all that, and guess what? She had a dog.
I'm just afraid. What happens? I can't go anywhere because there's nowhere for my dogs. So I'm
right, and I'm not going to tell you to get rid of your dog. She's already been through that dog. That's not going to happen.
My daughter's all like, let's sign her up to get her fixed and just leave her and not pick her up. I'm like, and then her husband's all like telling me like, we could just leave him and just call the town and have them pick him up. And I'm like, oh my God, there's just no one.
That's why I have 7 dogs, and I just found a Rottweiler this last weekend. Some idiot dumped the dog in the desert to die. Absolutely beautiful, by the way. Fortunately, I have one that just my a purebred like this, and I'm taking care of her. I'm doing her vet check on Thursday, and my patient check just in case I'm off Thursday in summer. But, there's this whole thing around that, and that's, again, why, and 5 of my 7 dogs, by the way, are purebred. And 2 of them were neutered before I even got them. Okay, but and still, they never came forward. They never, like, literally, whatever it is your daughter and her husband are talking about, that is what all the time. I have a kennel that I use when I board with my dogs. It's not that expensive, actually. It's just expensive with all of them. So I don't go on a lot of trips. I can't afford it. But when I'll go there, and they'll show me the ones that people signed up, paid for a couple of nights, or said they were coming back in 2 days, never came back. Tons of them. Like, it happens all the time. So that's what people do.
I just felt like, okay, it's not like in the conversation, there's just, no.
Yeah, that's not your gig. That's not your deal. If I can find someone somewhere, and I about 5 or 6 years ago, even right before COVID, it was the people in the shelters and other places during COVID, it was easy to find homes for dogs. But after COVID, when people went back to work, or when people found out they'd have to pay their back rent or their back mortgage, all of a sudden, and they didn't have a job, or they were let go, they couldn't work remotely, and it was put on hold, and the restaurants weren't that closed. So then all of a sudden they don't have a job. At the end of the day, all these animals came back, and then there are more. So they're overflowed. I was talking to the animal control for San Diego and all the areas of it. They go quickly. Let's just say. I get the red list. I hate it. And you know that in the gut. If I could say to you, yeah, it won't be a big problem. There's others in the pictures. They're awesome. I would say that and feel confident, but I cannot say that. I checked with the local husky rescue too. Aside from the fact that they're willing to take half huskies, they can't. They have no room. They don't even have fosters right now. So, I have been able to find homes for dogs out of state, but it's getting them there.
These are my babies. It's the thought of even parting from them.
They've been your friends and your family, and you fought for them to live. Parvo, you brought their mother and their father. They're all you have left of that, and that's just like I would live in. I the thing that breaks my heart most about what I'm doing, and the people like who love their animals, and I'm like, I would live in a tent with my dogs, all of them, definitely. Live in my car with my dogs.
Even at my daughter's house, I was in the I was in the tent. I didn't, because they don't want the dogs, so I'll stay with my dogs and make sure they don't cause any ruckus. But it just wasn't, it just wasn't their. But they don't even take the time to even, know the dogs, because the dogs are, they've been raised in, chaos. It's not really chaos, but it's chaos. Like, I'm sure they read my nervous system and they know, they're very protective of me.
I'll bet they're really good dogs.
Yeah.
They've been with you.
Yeah, and even right here too, there's a bunch of feral cats. They have like, I don't know, like 20, 30 cats. It's crazy. And it's, but the dogs are, they're good girls, but there's.
Well, yeah, they're gonna chase cats because they're chasers. They got the husky in them.
Yeah, and that's so the dogs. It's just that whatever it is, it's always there's an issue. Oh, my baby.
But I have babies. They're good.
But the pregnancy, oh my God, it's the first one was a lot. It was a lot. Every day it was a lot, but another time, oh my God, it's what do you do though? I could never do it. She's my baby throughout all of it.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. I mean, and you've had some. I have one that I rescued the other time, and my goodness, she's so nice. and she had a baby. She's really disabled and healthy. And at the end of the day, yeah, that's her. And no way in hell. I mean, I don't care. I'm not doing anything that doesn't include her.
See, now
Wherever I go, whatever I do, I don't care where I have to go. You know.
my heart says that, but logically, it's like it's getting grimmer and grimmer, and
Well, because you do have to think about them as that too. There's a point where, like what happens to the boy, there's going to be more problems. There are more concerns, more places where you can't, or where you can't, you can't and do things. And I've seen people with their and they use their EDT, which can be by dog food. They use it to buy food that they can feed the dog. Like one lady,
that's what I do.
and they buy like rice
Yeah.
and sheep meat, and they make that. They put it together. They make it, and it's true. And so they're not eating very well. Now you can get medical meals sent to you. I set that up for her. But you know what? When she went to the hospital, she got hurt. Guess what happened to her dog?
Oh God.
Yeah. Fortunately, I had also got her to sign some paperwork so that the people that she was staying with were legally required to send that, to call someone, and then the police could see that, or the ambulance could see it, and they could call, because everybody felt sorry, and her lovely dog was sent back to the person she originally got it from. That person had kept in touch with her, and was someone she had known in the past. So she had a backup. She had basically had a will for her dog. And he's okay right now.
Did she make it out of the hospital?
Yeah, well, when she got out of the hospital, she realized that when she was older than most of us, she said that she went and visited him, but she won't do it again. It breaks her heart. She knows that it isn't a good idea because this could happen again. And then what?
But then the dogs are so, for someone elderly, there's I wouldn't be able to do without a dog because they're so on guard.
Yeah, but that's something to think about too. Because I look at my age at 58. I have 2 young dogs, 2 Belgian Malinois that the rescue that we found that were only like 5 years old, and they were the ones who were neutered, and they're smart, and they were in good shape. They'd only been out for a while. They have to get to the velociraptor stage. And so one of them, we had them for 2 years now. And I think I've a couple of 2-year-old dogs who are working on the weekend. And they're developing I think there's a dog that, unless something bad happens, cancer, something weird, they'll probably live another 12, 15 years. So that's So I asked myself, would I want to get another dog because it's a older dog, a really old dog? Probably not. Not when it's just what happened. I work in a geriatric population, and I am not geriatric. But I've got people who that old dog, I get my home. But for the most part, what's going to happen to that dog? When I get make sure my dog, that whatever income I have, or anything that comes down the pipe, my son will only get that. Whatever I've got in the bank, if he only gets that, it's not going to have a dog. They're left. So it's kind of like that's like so my God, that's yeah. And I mean I've seen a lot of that. And I'm not saying it's very but you're right, they are super important. Elderly people with dogs. My mom's dementia. That was very manageable when she had a dog. She was walking around. She was so bad she was getting that's when it was like, okay, car. Back in. Here. Put stuff in the microwave. She can cook. I stop by every day and make sure she has food. If I see that it's running by, I know she can walk the dog. So when she did walk, she got. If she come back, if you do that one more time,
I was always one that got everyone's dogs. Got all the kids, like you. With my kids and anything, I always said on the dogs. I never thought about that, but until now, it's like it's been too much.
I've seen as much as possible where there's homeless people live in the river. Right out there. I don't know if you know about that out there. There's a lot of family out that road. And she lives with their dogs. And they're cats sometimes. And I will never forget one lady. She needed to stay with a medical condition and needed more observation and treatment. And she was not looking for drugs or anything. She had a very serious baby where she had diabetes. She's not going away or anything. She had like and wanted to keep her working housing. It's qualified for everything. Qualified for everything. And I'm like, and she's like, no, I'm leaving. I'm not staying any longer. I know where to go to my medication now. I'm home. And I'm like, I go back there. And she's like, not leaving my cat overnight. What? I didn't think that was actually a cat. No, I can't just leave on the computer for one night. And it's already been a whole day and a night. I'm going tonight. I'm going home. Early in the morning, she said, that's it. She walked out of it. Not leaving her cat any longer. And she's saying, unless you can find me a shelter, I'm going to take my cat.
Nobody understands people like that. It's like crazy. And it's,
no, I understand that I get people when I am working with them. When I go to meetings, and somebody's like, you just won't give up your dog. And I have housing. And I'm like, guys, you not understand that. That's all. That is and I when I explain the pressure scales for you and talk to you, I know that you're not going to shoot your dead. You're not going to you lost your animal all the way, you might answer that question differently. About stuff, but it's really good. They keep you alive. They keep you focused. They keep you healthy. Unless you're bad, you're anxiety. All right, but you're not good. You have your anxiety. Yes, that's a different number.
I do work on it, but because my mental wise, it's like, okay, I've learned so much, but yeah, the body while I'm in this stressful situation, it's almost impossible to
Well, and it's not good for your brain. It has an autoimmune factor that's stress. So, one of the things for us to work on it, we can get, I'm going to narrow it down to the basic points. First is getting some kind of transportation to safety. And if that means, the guy can help you fix up a car, then that's what you have to do, okay? So I'm going to put that down as like a primary, is to secure your car, or a car, not a stolen one, okay? And not because I think you'll steal a car, because literally that happened to somebody recently.
well, for sure, like the person who's saying all that, we'll go get the RV, it's like, Oh.
Yeah, if it's your RV, you're not moving anything, okay?
But I still owe money on it. But
The main, well, that's fine. If it hasn't been repossessed, then that's fine. The regional guy could have come out and taken it already. You don't know where it is, then that's not that hard, okay? And if you move it somewhere else, they're not going to find it any. They probably already written that off. Now,
oh yeah, it's an older RV. It's not a. There's no repo for it. It's a. It's older. It's paid off.
Okay.
And it's not running. Or it was when my son had it, but it's been sitting for so long. It's not.
There may be a problem with that, but if you want to steal it from wherever it is, in terms of remove it from you're removing your property from someone else's property, so your only real crime is trespassing. And you're not technically trespassing, it's yours, and you aren't cutting through a fence or opening a gate. Unless the gate is already open. In which case, there could be a problem. But only if they catch you. I'm just saying, and you could look up the law on that. I'm not giving you advice. It's legal.
Oh, for sure, I know that. It's just the whole thing is just like. But then she was also saying there's a place in Barstow that people, it's a homeless encampment where a bunch of people live. She's like, you move out there. And I'm like, that sounds scary.
It is scary on some of the cities, but there's also encampments where people basically congregate who aren't, maybe marijuana, some people, smoke opioids. Those aren't violent people. That's what makes people weird and violent.
That's where the RV's at. He was on a meth psychosis, and I stayed there a week, and it was perfect, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of remember you telling me a little bit about that. But that's the thing is to, those are possible. I know somebody who said that she would rather live. She has this place, and there's one mountain area. The dead guy, history from 100 years ago. And she's got this little spot that's really hard to see, and you can't find it easy. And sometimes people camp, but they don't camp there. And she goes up there and does the tent thing. And it's just when it gets super hot or super cold, she starts to have problems. And so she gets like the camp set up and other stuff.
Does she does it alone?
She does it all by herself.
How can someone not go crazy though? Because it's really hard. It gets,
And she does not have animals. Because she hikes down out. She hides her stuff. It's under rocks maybe periodically. She hikes down and takes her steps periodically. She's trying to get like camp showers, figuring out ways. She's figured out ways to use water up where she is. So she mostly drinks the water, which she stays up there. She's been there for weeks at a time. I hear about people doing stuff like that. I see them doing that. People, one person, she was living in an RV on her sister's property. That RV is actually Israel, and she was eventually able to figure out, like, maybe she found a place that will accept old ones, and she had just enough cash left over from a small pension. From her husband's death years ago, so it was like a small, thing that she was trying to save up, and she was going to just use that and take the rent there, and she just needed to get the fifth wheel to that spot. But it was like, I looked at it and was like, on the other hand, my mom left my dad 40 years ago. She moved into one of those rat traps. I got a cat out of it. And there were no rats. I call it a rat trap. When I first moved out on my own, I lived in the hood. And by the hood, I'm a little white thing right here back there. All right? There were a lot of decisions that I had to make too. You are, you and I are the same age, basically, and kind of starting from scratch. My mom and dad is she was in her late 40s, and it was rough getting started from scratch after living a life, like, in a house stuff.
With
There's
kids
nothing to hear. And you know what?
it's so hard.
Part of the reason why she lives where she is so she could have the last dog. And when they were gone, and one cat. And when they were gone, because they were old, adopted, they had other children. And she was so long. I would rather go. We're all around. So, you know, I want to tell you, I do understand. And I pay attention when I see people out there, like, that's not an easy way to live, but that's a choice sometimes. And it's a choice we make so that we can get our feet under us for whatever we do. And make ourselves safe in a place that maybe other people don't think is safe. Some people stay homeless on purpose, not because of drugs, but because they know where they can get good food. They live where they want to. They like to watch people. They go to the shelters and they get help, and it's about whether or not they want to live the way they are, and whether or not they can get out. Get back to the stock market, pay rent like everybody else.
It's so much easier. I prefer that way more. If I can do that, then hell yes. I don't like this at all. I don't. It does a lot to your. I have good self-esteem, and I have good, I validate myself. But it's pretty rough because it's like you're treated horribly everywhere you go. It's like turn around. I'm like, dang, this. I don't know. I'm sure it's hurting me, and I don't know it because it's such an outcast, and then the police treat you horribly. Like it's just, oh my god, it's horrible. And over here too, I've even run into police over here, and some bitch ass guy on a bike, called the police on me, but he was a bitch. But I shouldn't have said nothing back because he rode his bike and then he had to come back. So it's like, why the fuck do you come back? My dogs are barking at him. So, but then I should have not dealt with him. But I hate that. Guys are annoying because they want to come or stand around with the dogs are barking. It's just annoying.
Yeah, and it's like, why do that? Like, like, a lot of people still have this book technique. Wow. So an example is I wrote like down and around a couple miles. I know it's kind of, so, but there's a lot of homeless people who work that way. They have these big little, like, there's fence, there's people inside of the fence, people outside of the fence. They've got those little islands down there, and there were people that were camping out down there. By camping, I'm looking at this is not legal camping there. I'm not camping. They are living. Okay? And
I never want. I could never, ever. That would.
Oh yeah, there was too much water around. There wasn't a lot of water, so they could walk across it. And all I could think was the first time we had a big rain, what are they going to do? Like, some of them had animals, some of them didn't. Okay? And I'm out there with, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 people. None of them were social work. A couple of them were, with medical nurses, CFO for a medical company, a couple of business guys, real estate agents, all these people, right? Like, don't have anything to do with the homeless, first of all, or social work, or psychology, mental health, or anything like that, or drugs. They don't know anything that I know, right? And they don't know how to look at things. So they just jump conclusions. They're like, oh, and I'm like,
for sure.
Let me educate you. Look, this guy rolling around over here on the side, yeah, he is on drugs, and he is a problem, and I was out of function, and also he might be some weird. And those people over there, like, you don't need to organize your stuff, it's a lot of junk. But look, the junk is set up in a way for them to be able to retell it. I bet they're doing this doing scrap metal. And then I'm like, and also, see how they turn some of that into cool art. And that is actually a great cooking area that's safe. They start a fire. And it's built a little thing. It's not that car belongs to them. And I bet it doesn't work very well. They don't use it very often, but it won't sleep in it. They sleep right here. And then it's like, this is their own. This is down on the river. I can wash this stuff. I don't like that. easy for them because the river ain't clean. They're trying. And they got a little camp stove, you know, and they had some like stuff they had brought. And I'm like, they're creative. They use a lot of marijuana. That's not smell it. But these are not people you need to worry about. You don't think they do anything? I don't. Unless you get in their space. They're right in their space. And they're proprietary about it. So let them be. I wouldn't call the police on anybody except this guy, and I'm more likely to call the paramedics because that guy looks like he's having a bad trip. But other than that, it's like I felt perfectly safe and comfortable. They were uncomfortable. They started once they started to learn how to do that. This guy going by, this lady in a tent with a couple of crazy ass dogs, and they're big, like the Rottweiler I got. She was dying of dehydration and 150 feet with a flat coat, running down the street, terrified. She'd probably been dumped or she was lost. You know, she had sores on her paws on the pavement. She just got trying to get into the dirt, and it would hurt her paws too. It was too hot. She was frothing. She was drooling because she bathed in that dehydration. When we brought her home, she climbed into the dog dish to try to cool her paws off so I could eat it and start to treat them. She was so distraught. But like my husband said, most people probably wouldn't walk up to a 100-pound Rottweiler frothing at the mouth. Big dogs scare people. They act like athletes. So, I mean, I'm not going to say the guy's decent. Probably just overreacting. And the police going to shoot you like a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, like, I do the classes for police that sometimes they get the message, sometimes they don't. My husband went out in the streets that he hasn't been in a while, but he's out of driving license. He does a lot of law enforcement. And we were just going out one night and they were rousting homeless sleeping in a park. And some of the police we went out with, they were like taking the bedding and the tent and then just saying, yeah, you can't sleep here, move on, and waking them up at 11:30 at night and rousting them and taking their stuff and then throwing it away, which they're not legally allowed to do. They took it.
Well, it's against the law to be. It's against the law to be living in your car, and it's just that Orange County, they're taking people's RVs and just leaving them with nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
as long as
disgusting.
you're not causing a problem, most police that I've worked with that have done this long enough until they lose their mind. But most of them is like, if you're parking your RV and you're not supposed to, and neighbors call them, then and they haven't caused a problem, they'll come and tell you. There's no parking lot. Someone else, in which case somebody gets up at like midnight, 1 o'clock, you know, or they've got the youngest, the neighbor's going to get neighbors see, you know, whatever, they call it 10, and people come out at midnight, and the person gets their RV and they move down to another street and stop. But they're not causing any problems, there's no staff, that happening. Police know they're just moving so much over left away. But by then, everybody's sleeping in the neighborhood, so nobody's going to call it in. And if they do, then the police have to make the car until they get up and do it. A lot of police will do that. Same thing with cars.
Oh, I haven't run off the night police.
When the car, well, a lot of times it's in the car, not around the car, not here often. By crazy actors, people with their trash, like that, and being a problem for people in their homes, and their cars. They can't walk down the street. That's a problem. But you're not that person.
Oh no! But the place will treat me like that. But then it looks me up, and I've no arrest record, and I'm not like I'm a druggie or something. And I'm like no, you know, like what? Like because I guess maybe they think that I don't know. The name maybe I don't know what it's called in the car.
You know what? I feel a passion in this and going through this experience. Something that you become somebody who's an advocate for housing and for people in shelters and for people trying to just
It's horrible. You know what? My car broke. The battery always died. It was the car I was in. It was a 2001 a Honda something, and it was so fairly new. But the fucking battery kept dying, and it broke down at Costco. And so I had no choice. I spent the night at Costco, the parking lot, and I got woken up by I guess a group of like maybe 10 men that worked at Costco were banging on the car, and because I had the windows covered, and that was scarier than fuck. And I was just my car legitimately broke down, even though they don't know I'm sleeping in the car, but still it broke down. And then
who knows? You're driving from point A to point B. Your car breaks down. You don't have anyone you can call. Your phone's dead. You're gonna sleep where you are.
yeah, there was even after I told my car that you better move it. They're all yelling at me. And I always meant to make a complaint on that Costco because it was so ugly. That was the one that was really disturbing.
Yeah, that was me. I mean, those people, I just driving and it broke down and I had to wait till I could tell or anything. We had cell phones back then, and I was scared. I slept, kind of in the footing of the passenger seat. I only had
I used to do that. I started out doing that.
Yeah, because it was scary, and some guy came up and was looking in the windows. I had these windows, and I remember just pretending hoping to walk away and scared. But it was scary because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was doing. It was off the side of the road, some places people can sleep and spend the night in an RV, or you can't stay for too long, maybe 2 nights. Or in a car is like Walmart parking lots, parking right back to the end.
They don't do that anymore. Walmart's the worst one. You can't even park too long. Well, this is a city.
They're still on the list. I mean, I was at an RV somebody looking at stuff, and they actually still have that on their RV board. The other thing is not park and ride, but sometimes the police will leave you alone at a park and ride because this person is either this person's not there or they didn't get a ride and that's just their car park, or this person broke down and they're waiting. They'll leave you alone unless there's a problem. Sometimes they'll come and check on you because they think that you're a working person at a parking ride. Even though you're not technically supposed to spend the night there, they usually target you there. The other places are, and some people do this even though they're out of town. It's those, what are they called? Rest stops.
Mm-hmm.
People spend the night in rest stops as long as, again, it's not a problem. You can spend a night or two in rest stops. Some people move between different rest stops so that they don't have to deal with the homeless encampments and the crazy people in other places, and they aren't on a city street where they're more likely to get in trouble. So there's that aspect. Some city streets, they don't call in the day and they sleep in their car. A lot of people sleep in their cars because it's a bad neighborhood and there's all kinds of stuff happening. Just down the street from me, I live in a rural place. They're mad at their son, who's now over 18. So they put him in an old RV, doesn't really work very well, out in front of their house. They don't want to kick him out. They want to watch him, but they don't want him in the house because he has a drug problem. So it's like just down my street, I'm like, what the hell? And the police, by the way, are letting it go because they know this, they know the neighborhood, they work out here, and they know why they're doing it, and they're giving the parents, they talk to the parents time to handle it. So some places they'll let it go.
Yeah, that's why the high desert. I like the high desert for that. It's a little bit more lenient, but they still come around.
Yeah, they'll still come around. They'll let stuff go a lot longer. I mean, there's a small homeless encampment off the 138 where there's some cars and an RV, and I know for a fact where they came from. I ran into one of them. And it was sad because one of them, their dog got in my car, and I was going to walk the dog to go down to the Del Taco and the gas station down there, and Subway, and then we go down there and get water and get supplies, which is way too expensive. Walk them. And I saw the dog dead like that. It's just really sad. That's really kind. If I saw the person dead, I probably wouldn't be upset. But those people, that's our the car at the end of the road past that one gas station and Subway in it. they used to, and people used to park there, but there were too many complaints about them, and they were too visible, so they moved. And I saw where they moved, and now they're not as visible to the freeway at all. And I'll tell you, when I get up to go drive my husband to the airport, I drive down the 138, 5 days, I see cars parked outside the Mormon Rock as I turn out, which is supposed to be illegal fruit guy. Nobody messes with him, and nobody messes with the cars that are parked there, even though she's down the street from the fire station. Catch the thief on the 138. I know because they're giving me tickets. Not recent. So there are places that people go in the desert that just get let go. Just let them go. I know people are sleeping there. They've got their sunscreens up, and I'm thinking, you only get sunscreen at 5:30 in the morning. But you're sleeping there. You're hiking. Not hot out. So they're sleeping there. They're like 3 or 4 times. One is like a guy in a chair.
It's a horrible, I don't like it. It's a horrible way to live.
It is horrible, but I like to keep my eyes open for that too. When I meet people like you who won't be able to get into a shelter, have a dog, or and you can't get into housing because you have any kind of income right now.
What if I do when the puppies come? Oh my God. It's so grim.
If you had some kind of transportation, you could probably volunteer in a number of places to help animals out, and they would take you in a heartbeat, and you might even get a job. Volunteering is a great way to get a job. That's how I got started in some of my social work. I volunteered to do stuff with the homeless, going out and working with homeless kids, talking to them and adults on Broadway, no less in Seattle and Kessler, and some of those places. I wasn't afraid, so, I went out, I would give them, goodie bags, resources to live, and phone numbers, and have government phones back then, but, giving them a card that you could use, I don't know if it's going up to them, but a card that you could use as a payphone, and a list of safe places to go where they could use the phone, and try to get the kids hooked up with other resources so they can't take themselves out. But yeah, I volunteered to do that, and eventually, the same place I volunteered hired me part-time. So it was weird. It was like that was one of my first real, social jobs for that. And when I got a job full-time in social work, working with housing and homeless, it was in part because I had that volunteer experience, and they had paid me, so I was an employee, and they wrote 2 different parts of that organization, the employed part and then the volunteer division, wrote me letters of recommendation, so I could get my first full-time, real social work job working in that area. So, because otherwise they weren't going to hire me, even though I had massive real estate background, commercial building owners for low-income housing. They weren't going to work with me. Because they're like, yeah, she's just wearing suits and going to other places to talk to people from her. Which might be not true. So they weren't, but I had all of those resources background that I spent that was. So it's like, all kinds of ways that you can get through the door. Education.
With puppies.
Yeah, with puppies. Who knows? I'll figure something out on my end. I'm putting down part of your work right now that you need to do where you can keep your phone active as much as you can. And see about securing your car or RV or housing options off your part of the random place out in Apple Valley, how that works. Or something where you can, maybe not be on the street, but not with crazy guy, and it's somebody else's property. And then there's the whole, part of if you have a car, you actually get a car with 2 dogs is a lot better than sleeping there with 10.
then she got pregnant.
Yeah, right? And then, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll look into some of that side too. But if you can get that, and then you've got this guy to help you, part of me is kind of seeing if I can find some resources for.
What about like
me.
hotel vouchers?
Hotel vouchers only last so long, and those hotels won't take you off.
Oh, I know. You know, Green Tree Inn. They take that. That's like I don't know. It turned into.
That's a little different. That's not necessarily a regular hotel anymore.
Yeah, they had. It was all like the low income. I don't know if it's Head or something, but they had dogs there too.
That's one of the places. See, if you go to a place like that, a lot of them do. Like there's one over there off of 15. Near Stoddard Wells Road, I think it is. There's a couple of motels there. Well, they're actually not motels, and I think one of them might be a short-term, like short stay for homeless kind of situations, shelter overflow kind of thing. So one of them is one of the ones I was thinking of where you can stay there indefinitely. They have social services on site, pay the minimum. They're really tiny, but people there have actually little pistols. You know, as long as the dogs aren't dangerous, you take care of your animal and don't cause any damage, then they're okay with that. They don't even have to talk about that. They want you. They know that that's why you don't get shelters, you don't get houses.
My daughter was in one on Kiowa Road too, and she had her. They had a big dog.
Yep. What's the one? Oh, which road?
On Kiowa and it's on Highway 18.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It is cute too. It has a little kitchen in it, and it's like a little tiny studio.
Okay. Is that the old motel out there?
Yeah, it's an old motel. It's like they had I don't know if they still have it. Like a really huge sign, but it's in between. Yeah, it's right in between Walmart and the Walmart and Navajo. It's right in the middle on Kiowa Road.
I think I've seen that one. I didn't know that they converted it. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, they have a little kitchenette, and well, actually, when I booted my husband out, he got that's when he took my daughter and he got emergency. He got a lot of money off of just having a minor with him.
Oh yeah, they will. I mean, if you have a child, you get a lot of support. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, I'm trying to look into some of those places and ask them who they work with. I know who they work with to place people there and support people. Because there's always management on site.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens is I contact them and I try to get you connected with that people. Just going there, they're not going to do it. I don't supply any income to them. I don't supply the social services on site. The supportive services represent. I do referrals and I advocate for people. But that means I can go there and say, hey, what's the major social service agency you work with in order to seek your housing? Then I will call them, and they will talk to me as a professional social worker who works with housing navigation at IHP. Probably part of where they get money, public works to tell me how you can get it there.
But there's another one too on it'd be like Rancheria and Highway 18. Or my daughter's friend lived there, but that's what they would have. They'd have people come in and live there. It was like a living facility. But it was also, I don't know if it's still a hotel back then.
I know that one too. But back then that was short term.
I don't know. Yeah, her friend was living there. A lot of
places say short term, but then they let you stay there longer.
And then the Black Horse Motel, I heard that's one too. I've never seen that one, but the person I know is my daughter's friend's mother, and it was kind of a shady lady anyways, but I know that's what she was saying.
There's a couple of shady places. There's one of the close, so I know the name is like King something. That place is really shady.
But if it has a door.
If it has a door and an indoor bathroom, stop it. You get out of there.
I'd be happy with the door. Maybe some water. I'd be grateful. Electricity would be nice. My standards are pretty.
Yeah, I feel you.
But just a fence for the dogs. That would be. I was at my daughter's house. I was in a little 2-person tent on the side of the house, and it still didn't work. And I'm like, dang, my dog didn't do anything to her dogs or anything, but and I can't be where I'm not, you know.
Well, it doesn't sound like maybe they have that dog. Sometimes there's dog. You know, I mean, you know, I tell people this all the time. When it comes right down to it, if you're going to let your dog go, work with the rescues, work with the shelters. You know that that hasn't worked or it's not going to. You have to euthanize your dog kindly rather than letting it die slowly. You're not abandoning your dog. You're not, you know, people, I mean, it's a decision, and talk to people because the dog is dead. You can't afford the vet bill, you want your dog to die slowly, you know, you can't deal with this or that. You know, you're in the hospital. What are you going to do? Your dog is old. Where's your dog going to go? Make plans. You know, and some people are like, it doesn't matter, I'll live in my car like me. And other people, they don't have a choice. They can't live in their car. They're old too. And so it's kind of like making the right decisions, but, you know, going to a shelter and letting a dog go, knowing that after 7 days, you know, I think 5 days around here, I just talked to them. They keep them for 5 days on hold. The owner won't return to the play unless the owner decides to give away the reward. They're holding for 5 days and they give them for adoption. And if the animal has any medical condition at all, they will put you down after the life. And they won't give them medical attention or treatment, except for them minimal at times. They'll just let them do it. I found a dog, and I go by and talk to there when she's on it, and I thought she was walking down. So I stopped to see it, somebody else stopped too. I went back and got in her car, and my husband and I put the animal in the car, which is that I just saw it, it was strange. And so I actually did I was worried, like, and it's fine, and I don't think, but I'll take her and we'll get her looked at, you know, best thing will happen. So we did that. My husband also had to fight nurse there because animal control has to approve paying to euthanize the animal or to treat the animal. Animal control to treat the animal. They said they would pick it up and keep it pending the owner's retrieval, and then they would euthanize it at their facility. That would be 5 days of the dog being there with 1 injection a day for pain, with a broken spine and hips.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it was horrible. So I looked at my husband and I looked at the vet and said, how much does it cost for us to euthanize her now? My husband's all, so what? We could get her a wheelchair. We could have surgery, and if she was still, like, we could get her a wheelchair. I just looked at her like, there's the desperation of mother's journey. I just heard that. I was right, but I know it. I still know it. It's horrible. Because the only other option is to let animal control keep her for the 5 days for an owner. So, you know, if you have any animals to talk about, they're the first ones to put down. I think it's veterans.
Well, my ragdoll, he was picked up by somebody, and so they drove him in a car because there's pictures on the internet. I didn't see it, but Arthur looked into it, and he was put into not a pound. It was like an adoption center in Westminster. So but he looked normal. I guess he was smiling. But then we went by the place. It was called Wags in Orange County, and we could hear him howling, and I couldn't even. Because I know
oh my gosh.
I had to pay to get him out, but then it's that's a hard decision.
Yeah, exactly. But at least you know that he didn't go to a kill shelter.
Or he got shot, or got hit or anything, and
yeah.
And then from there on, what else? Oh my God, that was my boy though. It was
No, that's the one that I remember you telling me about how important he was to you and how it was the first time you ever felt love in the way he looked you in the eye. I've had that love from a dog before too. It's horrible. When my Kylar, she was my first like that, died, it was because she was with my mom because I was living in an apartment. I couldn't her because so young, and she got poisoned by accident. Nobody did anything wrong. She got into a weed killer, which has anti-return in it, and not anti-return, there's something else in it. Anyways, basically the weed killer that everybody hates, like Roundup, and it was all locked up in a container, but it caught out, and there was moisture in there. She knocked it over, and the cat fell off and went off. So she lay in it, and then she died. She died away from me, and it still breaks my heart to think about. And it breaks my heart that I gave away a dog that loved me and kept trying to come home to me at that time that he almost died. I feel that, when you have it, and I almost heard something like that.
I still have a lot of unprocessed grief. It hasn't.
He did go to a kill shelter, and he didn't get killed and hit by a car. He went somewhere as a young, beautiful dog. And the likelihood is they'll neuter it. Hey, you won't make that sound anymore. You won't get it. And people probably have a hope. So that's something that holding the animal control. And that's the thing. If you take a pregnant dog to animal control, they'll hold the dog for 5 days. And whether she gives birth during those 5 days or not doesn't matter. They will keep birth down. And all the puppies.
Oh my God.
Yes, because they cannot legally keep them there. They do not have the medical attention required for puppies. They do not, and she and her puppies could carry diseases that would affect the other ones, and they cannot. The first thing they do with any dog that comes in, except for the ones that are injured, and they're just going to put them down right away, as soon as the 5 days have passed. Those go into a segregated area, so you can't see them and won't be disturbed by them. They're doing like but they would do that, and the first thing they do with a healthy dog, otherwise healthy dog, is they get their vaccine right away. They go back to December and Parvo and a bunch of other things. So they do not want if the dog looks healthy to spread it into all the other healthy dogs, and they cannot do that with a puppy. A puppy has to be over a certain age in order to do that.
Oh my God.
They don't do that with the pregnant dogs. So I'm just telling you on that pregnant dog part, I'm letting you know that your concerns are justified. That is generally the Now, the first thing they will do with a pregnant dog, because they might give her vaccine, which will be somewhat protective to the litter that she delivers sometimes, but they will call all the rescues. They're not cool, horrible people. They'll call all the rescues right away. Say, hey, look, we've got this husky in. What can we do? And I don't know how that's going to work. They have a whole line, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, that could work out. But I never want to tell people anything that I can't guarantee, and that's what I did, and that will work out. I know that my this Rottweiler, she has these injuries on her ears, and it's unlikely she would be. It's very likely that she would be. They give her the vaccines and stuff, but it's very likely that after 5 days, she would go on the med because she has injuries on her ears, which makes her less adoptable. And then they put her out as an emergency bedridden dog. They might try to, put a little cream or something when the vet comes out there and does his rounds. I don't know every day or but I do know that they come out and they might give her some antibiotics or something, but they probably wouldn't because they have so many dogs that don't have festering sores, on their ears. And I have no idea. And she's otherwise healthy. She's absolutely good. But she has festering sores on her ears. They don't know if that's contagious. I know it is, but they're not going to take a risk. So,
you know what?
That's why I'm working with rescues and a foster.
Then I'm gonna start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, I mean that's something you can do. You can do a GoFundMe for, hey, I don't have the money to stay my dog, but I need to because one of them is already pregnant. And you could just don't say it was from another one of your dogs. Just say, you know, somebody jumped the fence. That happened to me. A Weimaraner climbed a 6-foot fence and mated with our 1-year-old lab mix. We were able to find homes for all, like, she had 20 puppies. A bunch of them were born dead. And it was pretty good. There were a bunch of cement vinyl.
You know, I would be.
But a bunch of them
I'm pretty
were
transparent. I don't even have no quarrel saying I'm homeless, and you know, like really putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that will get a lot of, maybe you'll get a lot of people reaching out to you that are animal lovers who appreciate you. But don't be surprised if you get a few haters and some nasty people who just like to be trolls in the world.
Oh no, I did. That night when I was stuck in the high desert with the heat was starting, and my windows were rolled down, and my car was stuck, and it was getting dark. Man, I was terrified. It was really scary. So I went. My phone battery is just dying. There was like very little left, and I have no one to call, of course. And it was freezing that night, and so I went on a Facebook messaging group. You know, like I was desperate. I was just helping, and most of it was all like, you should get the dog's name. You know, all the. I'm like, this is not helpful. My battery's dying. Yeah, I just needed help, like to get my car jumped or something, so I wouldn't be in that predicament.
Yeah. And it's true. I mean, on Nextdoor, I'm on Nextdoor, and my husband's on Facebook. But you know, I do the animal thing, Nextdoor, and other things on Nextdoor. You know, I always want to know what's going on in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I like this too.
Right? Yeah. So, but you see the stuff, and then I'll read. I'll be like, oh, poor baby. Oh, he lost the dog, and I would just push my eyes out, and I'll go, oh, I have found a dog back in my yeah. That dog looks like the dog on Nextdoor, and I'll grab up the dog, and I'll call the person, and go, come and get the dog. In the past, in Nextdoor, I found dogs put out on the, different pages. You know, people came and got their dogs, so I'm glad we could do that. But I'll read some of this, and it's just trolls. Well, if you lost your dog, you can get clothes, you know. And
I've had a whole year of all of them.
yeah, so I'm supporting you. I'm on your side. I'm doing what I can. I think right now, there's nothing really we're going to do too intensely with the housing and the dogs without me checking those places first, okay? Because, there's no way for you to really get there and you don't want to get rejected. Let me make my entries. I've got that started with my project the next week to try to get that done. I'll let you know, I'm probably going to be gone next week for a couple of days, end of the week. I'm going to try to get it before then. But I really don't know how I'm going to make that connection with them quickly. So I can't make a promise in the time frame, but I can text you, and I will on this number. I'll even text you the other numbers in case some of them work. I don't mind because I just make sure I can get you somehow.
It's supposed to work, but it's so
Apple
bullshit.
Valley in July.
Okay.
I'll be in Apple Valley the first week of July. I'm going out there. I have like one appointment. Double check what the day I set up for that, because I know I set something up with someone. Let's see. I have to check that person on the exact date. It's set up. Crap. I didn't write it down. Never could. But I just know that it's like, I think it's the first week of July. I'm feeling that week. Don't think I'm going out on Thursday that week. Because, the first week of July is a personal Wednesday. And then we're all off on Friday. So I think it's the next week that I'll be out on the Tuesday after you. But I will double check with them and with you. And I'm going by a bunch of people's places that haven't made appointments. I have one appointment out there. I think it's 1:30. And then I can swing by wherever you are after that. I'll let you know. Okay?
And if anything comes up, just message me for just to check up on something. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I know any information I get before then, definitely, and I will definitely text you to confirm which day it is that I'm out there.
Okay.
And I did not write it down.
There's even like the domestic violence places. I would try to go through my tribe, and there's nothing, but there's got to be something. I've even put in for bartering, bartering services. Yeah, so I could like live on the ground, have be on the site, do that. But I need space for my dogs.
Yeah, well, and I know that with the tribes, they generally don't really care whether or not you have dogs. Just a thing for them. I've never had a problem with them saying something whenever I work I usually work with children and domestic families that are trying to return to the tribe or something, or they're running into problems. They usually have children, which is why I was involved at the time. But and it's to avoid foster care or other situations.
Yeah,
and if you don't have animals, the tribe has never said, "Oh, you have a cat, oh, you have a dog." It's like, "Oh, no, we won't take you." It's like, no, they take you.
Well, they usually have the funding, but they don't have anything for. They don't have anything. But maybe like the California tribes, there's different stuff. But
yeah, well, and you're Apache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember. And I don't think they have any direct representation out here. It's indirect representation, like you're saying, it's like a sub-thing when they work with the tribe out here. And then the person, can get some tribal resources, and the tribe of origin, because yours is outside of the state, pays the tribe in here through whatever social services the tribe can have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I remember.
And well, I can get medical services out here, but I'm just to try because it's still.
Well, it might give you some better opportunity for some, like some resources. But it would mean, and if you can get out to your original res, one thing, if you have full membership to your res, they have that take you and help you.
Oh yeah, but yeah, there's definitely housing there, but it's yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen housing that's really nice, and I've seen housing that's not so nice. And I've seen a lot of like where it's nice housing, but the people aren't so nice. I think you can find that anywhere. I mean, some people will go to Compton and go, "This looks good." I know the first time I did, I said that. I've seen worse in Indonesia and the Philippines, other places. But then,
it's just the person, and it's yeah, a lot of them they can actually have the new houses like my mom has, but it's just their their mindset, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's I like to think that what you're saying is like a backup option if you can't find and get yourself through the situation here in a way that you feel safe, or in a way that you feel like you can grow, build, and become successful, and you end up doing it out there and starting from that platform, and then you probably end up leaving and moving off the res somewhere else. But
Yeah.
first things first, let me start looking into some of the places you mentioned and some of the places I mentioned, and then you look into the vehicle situation just to see if we can get that rolling. And I will also look into checking on if there are any exchange resources on people. And that might be a GoFundMe thing too. There might be some stuff on next door and some other places. So that could be an option along the line.
I'll do that. And there's Haley House too. That was next on my list to call. So,
Haley House?
Like for domestic violence, they help the.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna check, and hopefully I'm just
Yeah, and you know what's nice with some DB places is they recognize that a lot of people stay in these violent situations or return to violent situations because they have pets. And they aren't going to leave their animals, so they'd rather stay and take it. It's like protecting the child. You want to be there for them, And I've seen terrible stories. So people stay because they don't want to leave pets. So a lot of these shelters have made adjustments to the way they do things when they go accept the animals because they don't want the woman to go or to return to a situation like that. And the fact is, I've had DV you are at risk when you've lost your housing because of your father, and you were in a place which you were assaulted. I don't know how they're going to list 100%, but I do know you have enough history that is an appropriate choice for you, and because that may be the one that's definitely not going to judge the animal part much. So, yeah. But so see how that works, and then we'll touch base again next week at the latest, so I can just give you a good date and time kind of thing, and we'll move on from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Still postpartum, but day by
I'm
day.
glad to hear you're okay. So and I'll also talk when I talk to all these rescues. Most of them are Roddy rescues because I'm trying to find a place for right now. But I'll talk to them about the new ones. There's a couple of other ones that aren't Roddy, but I haven't found yet. So we'll see.
God. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Shoot, hi, Hail Mary. Last time I spoke with her, she's a big height person. Or I think, I'm understood, dogs are understood, and she's got all these credentials. And oh my god, I thought the phone was plugged up. I plugged the wrong fucking phone up. 8%. I don't know. I wish I had a friend to call. My damn phone's supposed to turn on. On Saturday, I was on the phone with them for 3 fucking hours. Yesterday, for like 2 hours. No. I usually don't try to. I always remember to make sure. This is it. 8 minutes. Active copy and here's what my phone is. Well, it's not. My phone is unstable phone. Unreliable.
Oh, yeah, knock it off. Calm down. You're too intense. Yeah, my baby. You're too intense. Oh my God, there's enough love for everybody. Oh, I'm just tired of your shit, huh, Bianchi? Bianchi's my girl. You're my girl too, so knock your shit off, Bianchi. God. I love my girls. I love my girls. You guys, I live for you guys. I love you guys. I love your mommy. I love your daddy. I love everything about you guys. You're my babies. You're my babies. Mwah. You need to loosen up, Aki. No one, you can loosen up. You don't gotta be on guard. You don't gotta fight for your love. You don't gotta be all jelly. Even me, I'd be Bianchi, huh? She knows you don't have to be jelly. Just gotta chill your grill. Chill your roll. Aki, no. Aki, you don't, Aki, I'm not gonna do it. I just want to pull you off, you little shit. The last thing I want is for her to be out there. But the water does cool you guys off. I wish you guys would jump in the pool. Especially you, my donkey. God, I don't know what to do. Look, will you keep fucking on my clothes, you little shit? That's cold and it should help like cool your tummy down. There you go, good girl. You know I just love you. I'm just gonna get this, not you. I'm just gonna get that. See, tell your head to me. This is my good girl, good girl. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spray you. Don't spray you. You don't like it. I just want to touch the off though. It's hot. Oh my baby, that's hot. I really thought it was. I really did. And I really feel you. Oh baby.
but when it gets darker, we can get for more. It's so bright. There's so oh my god. What the fuck are these lights on for? Great, they're gonna be dead by the time it gets started. Great. We have to go to the bathroom. I do have ice. Just a, let me get you some ice water, my love. Oh, God. Oh shit, I got my circle on. Let me do one more call. Okay. God. Yes, I'm an unhoused domestic violence survivor. I'm living in a tent in the high desert, and I have Graves' disease, and I have a pregnant dog who's like severely pregnant, and I'm not in a safe environment. And with the heat, it's I'm calling to see if there's any resources or help.
So yeah, we are a domestic violence hotline number. We do intakes for different shelter.
Yeah.
You did mention that you have a dog. You're not equipped for any service animals.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's okay.
Do you need any referral numbers?
If you have anything,
What area?
I'm the high desert. I'm in Apple Valley right now.
Okay, if you're ready,
Yeah.
I have a couple of words for you.
Okay.
You just might want to just call them just to check if they do accept service animals.
Yes.
So there's 1-760
Mhm.
955
Mhm.
5280.
Mhm. Okay.
family assistance. Have you called that one?
No,
It's 760
Mm-hmm.
843
Mm-hmm.
0701.
Okay.
Better Way
Okay.
is 760
Mm-hmm.
955
Mm-hmm.
8723.
Okay.
Let me give you one more. Give me 1 second. Do you happen to have like somebody that transportation?
No, I don't have any transportation. I could probably try to get transportation somewhere.
So these are kind of like the closest ones to you, Victorville.
I would go anywhere,
Everything.
anything that could because
It's just sometimes they don't guarantee transportation. I just wanted to see if you would be able to get transportation as well.
yeah, I will definitely do that if it could be something where she's my dog. I'm really concerned about her, in my health, of course, but it's just we weren't in tent, and it's just not safe and not the heat's too much too.
So of course. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more. It's at 661
Mhm.
945
Mhm.
6336.
Mhm. Okay.
And then also, do you happen to receive any like assistance through the welfare county?
The I have EBT and then the IEHP Medi-Cal.
Have you already applied for the homeless assistance?
No.
Okay, so welfare, if you do have any type of like medical or any like CalFresh assistance, you are eligible for homeless assistance. You just have to go to your nearest welfare office and apply for it if you haven't already applied for it. They do give you a voucher. What I think is for 2 weeks. They transfer it to your EBT card, and then I think it's only for 2 weeks.
A voucher for
So
what?
if you haven't for hotel.
If I have no children, I do that? Oh my gosh, okay, I did not know that. Okay, homeless assistance, I'll it's late now, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to go to the office. You do have to show a little bit of proof that you are homeless, and they do, I don't know how long does it take, but it might be a couple of days.
What kind of proof? I don't know, how can you show, I don't know that, like,
Huh?
I'm just thinking, what kind of proof would you show homeless?
I'm not sure what they actually ask for.
Okay.
It shouldn't be anything like too major if you're homeless.
Yeah, I'm like, I have nothing, so, okay, no, that's nothing, I'm just, more my curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but that's something.
Yeah.
What time?
Let me give you one more number.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay. 760
Mhm.
256
Mhm.
7797.
And even if there's anything out of this area too, I would go anywhere.
Yeah, this one's in Barstow.
Okay.
This last number that I gave you, that one's located in Barstow.
Okay.
But yes, if you have time tomorrow, if you haven't already, asked for the homeless assistance at Coward, you apply for that temporary shelter payment, which is about 2 weeks.
Okay, that's great. I didn't even know that they had anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Bye.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Segovia. My number's 714. I'm an unhoused domestic violence survivor. I'm currently living in a tent in Apple Valley. I'm in an unsafe, unstable living environment. I have severe mental vulnerabilities. I have Graves' disease, and I have a female dog who's heavily pregnant. Actually, I have 2 service dogs, and one of them is pregnant, and she's at the risk of heat stroke. And I have no income. I have no stable shelter, and I just need help. No shelters out here. They don't dogs. I'm just in a crisis. I just need help. If you can, please return my phone call. Thank you. Oh my god, I think she's...
You got something going on with your eye? No wonder you're listening. You can't even see straight.
Oh, baby, what's your turn?
It's so funny that Aiden didn't have a cock eye. Hard to find your city. Looking for row I.
I think she's having a puppy.
But a year and a half ago, we did 2 shows next door. That fucking man's maybe the meanest thing.
Oh god. I would get sweet.
Whoever did that, though, was going to hell, for sure. I did another show. They were like, so fucking rude. Hold on, are you a 20-year-old man or a 30-year-old lesbian? 27-year-old lesbian. I fucking knew it, dude.
Let me look at doggies giving birth signs, active labor. 10 signs, active labor.
Take these and get rid of it. This shower head changed my life.
It is a great satisfaction to greet you again. I hope you and your pet are well. Today we will talk about...
I got into all my clothes. And
how do I know if my dog is in labor? 10 signs. Although not always easy to spot, there are some signs that a bitch is going into labor soon, and it is essential to watch for these signs. Let's talk about 10 signs that labor is soon to happen. 1. You saw the skeletons of puppies in an x-ray. By day 45 of pregnancy, the pup's skeletons can be seen on x-rays. This is generally a cheaper, more accessible, and more reliable method of determining pup numbers. If you can see the puppies on an ultrasound, you can estimate that your female dog is at least 45 days old and can go into labor within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
oh my god.
2. She is 58 days pregnant. Just like people, some dogs may go into labor a little earlier or later. However, since 58 days is the marker at full term, it is recommended that you monitor your dog's actions once she reaches this milestone.
Oh my baby.
If it has been more than 70 days since breeding and labor has not started, this may be an indication that something is wrong. Seek immediate veterinary attention.
Hush. It's okay. It's okay.
Scratching the blankets.
Oh God.
You may notice that she digs or scratches your bed or blankets.
It's okay.
She is certainly more common or irritable or eventually gets to this. She is
Oh my baby. Oh my baby. I got you. I'm with you. You're not alone.
usually this is a comfort.
Yeah, get away, Aki. Aki, you're upsetting her. Aki, you're upsetting her. Aki, Aki. Oh my baby. Okay, I got you. Don't worry. Aki, you're upsetting her. She's not feeling well, okay? I love you, Aki. And she's going through something right now, okay? I love you, Aki. Oh my God, baby. It's okay. I know, baby. Oh my God. Oh baby. Oh, Aki, she's not feeling good. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. I need to drink some fresh water. Aki, she's not feeling good.
If the vomiting worsens or does not stop after 24 hours, contact your vet. 6. Temperature has dropped. One of the biggest signs that a dog is about to give birth is when her rectal temperature drops below 100 degrees. When this happens, labor is more likely to start within 24 hours. A typical adult dog's temperature ranges from 100 to 102.5 degrees. Body heat will change as she prepares for delivery. 7. She seems restless and uncomfortable. Most owners will first notice the behavioral changes in their pregnant puppies.
Oh my God.
This usually looks like panting, pacing, digging, or shaking.
Oh my God,
When
she's
these
shaking.
signs are present, it is likely the start of uterine contractions.
Oh,
And they
baby.
usually last between 6 and 12 hours.
I'm with you.
8. She is clingy or aloof.
Oh, baby.
Labor and birth are painful experiences for dogs, and everyone responds differently based on their personality. Some pups will seek comfort, while others will become very reclusive. Give her space and privacy if she wants to be
Oh,
alone.
baby.
On the other hand,
Oh, my
be
baby.
patient and give her lots of
Oh, my
love and
baby.
attention if she chooses to be with you more often.
Oh, I'm with you.
9. Her mammary glands are enlarged. Another clear indicator that labor is progressing is your dog's mammary glands. Some will suddenly enlarge and milk may begin to be expressed. Be gentle when examining this part of your pulse body, as she may be sensitive and uncomfortable. 10. She is trying hard. The second and third stages of labor are when the puppies begin to be born, so you'll probably know she's in labor when you see her tension.
Oh my God.
A pup is usually born every 45 to 60 minutes,
Oh my baby.
followed by 10 to 13 minutes of vigorous exertion. It's not uncommon for the mother to take a break during the labor process, and it can last up to 4 hours. However, if she lasts more than 4 hours when the mother is exerting herself for 100 minutes, this may indicate that something is amiss and you should seek immediate veterinary attention.
I got you.
It is a pleasure to inform you that if you have not subscribed to the channel, you should do it now. Take care of yourself and your friends.
Oh my baby. Oh my baby. I love you, baby. I love you. I love you. I'm with you. You're just a baby. You're just a baby. Oh my God. I'm with you. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. I know. It's just funny.
They offered her $7,000.
Oh my
She
God.
almost said yes.
I'm
She
with
was
you.
actually worth $100,000. She almost gave away 93 grand. She